get over that. It hurts. It's a gassy fairy.
I think you'll like the next chapter, Mewes, if you want to start when you're ready.
Let's get yourself together.
Yeah.
Link goes to Hogwarts. Chapter 2. The second chapter of Link Goes to Hogwarts. Disclaimer, I do not purchase the rights to either The Legend of Zelda nor Harry Potter. Since last chapter, since I'm not rich with bajillion rupees like Link, nor do I have bajillion dollars either.
That's fair. That's fair.
At the first transfiguration class, Professor McGonagall we teach you how to transfigurate matchsticks into needles. This was done because if you didn't have a needle, why would you have a matchstick? The spell was completely and utterly useless outside of a ridiculously pacific and rare situation. Meaning that of needing a needle when you have a matchstick and don't have a needle, which is something that doesn't happen very often. Link pointed this out. And since teachers like to yell at students when students ask questions that imply that their teacher are completely and utterly useless for any
porpoise?
Porpoise?
A dolphin! It's a dolphin!
It's a dolphin. What's Professor McGonagall yelled at Link for 10 hours.
Oh my lord, I don't think anybody would yell at anyone over anything for 10 hours. Also, in school, you didn't learn things because it was practical or made sense. You learned this shit because it taught you basic skills that you needed. That's why you sat in history for hours on end. You got the basic gist of how the country was formed and why we have 4th of July. Unless you're Norm. Then you got the founding of Canada instead. But it's not like you actually know point by point all this shit. You just remember the general concepts. Because, we would like to think that you know something about your country. If you're gonna live here.
Not realizing they had left at the end of transfumigations class.
They're trying to kill the students! This is a ploy by Voldemort to kill the students!
She assigned Link a detention for his, from her perspective.
But I thought he could choose not to, bother with detention. So what was the point?
I don't know. For it was in fact an extremely intelligent question, because it was asked by Link.
So that's how that makes it an intelligent question, just because Link asked it?
Apparently. As in question, but uses the spell and started creating paper in the depths of her soul. The pressure of the chance her free forced themselves, though they were still weakened from the crackety cracks.
Okay, I understood nothing of that paragraph at all, but that's okay.
Up next was Flitwick's class, which was taught by Professor Chester's Charm.
But wait, if it's Flitwick's class, wouldn't it be taught by Professor Flitwick? And
I got it.
Substitute teacher or something, I don't know.
Now it is the time of the learning of Flitwick's.
I see what the author did. They think they're really clever, but they're not.
Flitwicks are spells that change
They're
the
spills.
spells.
They're long-winded dialogues of text you have to go through.
And changes the properties of an object or thing, such as the Luma's Flick-Wake, which causes one to admit...
deliberately, or is this...
No, they're doing it deliberately, clearly.
Okay.
Causes one to admit light. Another expample of the Flitwick is the Bluebell Slime-Beam spell that Hermione somehow invented before ever coming to Hogwarts. Since Bluebell flames are so likely to be useful in a variety of situations, I'm quite sure that hemorrhoid.
I'm sure that hemorrhoid. That's exactly what I thought of when I read that. Poor Hermione, she gets so much shit.
I'll never mention or think of them again after her first year. That makes sense to me, said Link, putting the pennies he made from it in his infinite money wallet.
What are you gonna do with pennies? They're useless to you. That's American currency.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Indubitably is. Did he actually spell indubitably right, or is that spelled?
I have no idea.
Indubitably is quite a useful charm, said Professor Flitwick. Now it is time to teach you Lumos. Everyone wave your wands and say Lumos. But when Seamus casts the spell, it exploded, and Flitwick made him write, I am big old baboon loves Samus, or something to the effect. I can't remember what the canon phrase was. On the wall 7 million times with the force of 1,000 writings.
A force of 1,000 writings. So basically, we just took, I guess, 7 million books and just started slamming this kid with them that we just suddenly inserted into the story so we could have a fuck up.
I guess. Mixed house was potion class in which Snape walked in the classroom stompingly like a grumpy idiot because he's kind of a grumpy idiot. Grumped Snape like a grumpy You can all put your stupid, pathetic, ridiculous wants away. In this class we brew potions and cauldrons. I'm sure you'll hate it because you're all dumber heads, and it has nothing to do with my teaching skills, which are shit at all. Grumpeted.
Because Snape would totally talk and act. Well, I mean, he probably, without being so annoying and blunt, yeah, he does act like that, but
And now it looks like Harry Potter is in this class. Yelled with the force of 1,000 yells, with even more grump in his voice. He bent over and glared at Harry until their noses touched. No,
wow, that's a little too intimate there. I mean, this is first year. He's 11 years old at this point. That's pedophilia, Snape. Maybe you should back off into another story that deals with that topic by a better writer, okay?
Now, know that I despise you, you worthless, fame-seeking dumbhead with the dumber headiness of 1,000 dumbheads. But just to give you a chance to prove yourself, how do you make a philosopher's stone? I'm afraid I have no idea, sir, Harry said politely. Aha! This is absolutely and irrefutable proof that despite your celebrity status, you are a complete and utter fool, Nimrod, and deserve an F forever in this and all classes.
To be honest, I don't think anyone, except for like the guy who made the mirror, I guess, knew how to make a philosopher's stone. That's kind of the thing of alchemists. Well, I don't know about in the Harry Potter world because I haven't read the first book, but from what I remember of the first movie, I don't think a philosopher's stone was easily made. Because I think nobody knew how to make one.
I forgot what the brothers were called. It was like Alphonse and Fullmetal Alchemist characters.
Edward and Alphonse.
What was her last name again?
Elric.
Okay. So we need to get Edward and Alphonse Elric into this because apparently they know about Philosopher's Stones.
Well, yeah, they made one in the end. I think it was out of Al? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched the original series, and I haven't seen Brotherhood yet, so.
Oh, Brotherhood was good. It was pretty good. Hold on there, matey, declared Link wisely. I feel your enraged and goofy rant of Great X is not entirely fair to Harry. You were not informed that we're required to read ahead, nor is it justified to ask a question that isn't even in our first year potions textbook. In addition, I find all this screaming quite unprofessional. Plus, it kind of hurts my ears. Also, you're kind of being a dick, Professor.
Okay, first of all, everybody's thinking that last part, but nobody's gonna say anything to Snape about it. Also, I feel your enraged and goofy rant of Great X. So is he implying that he knows about Snape and Harry's mom? Or is that just a random whatever is going on? I'm confused.
I don't know.
But I would like to see somebody say this to Snape's face, because he would almost, but not quite, end them.
And Professor Snape stomped like a grumpy idiot towards Link and glared down on him, but suddenly he saw the words that had come out of Link's mouth before, shining in the air with immense truth, and their truth solidified in its weight fell upon him, so he had to be winged with the hospital for a while. Snape reached a hand out, and one of the words holding up in his an igloo in his finder like he had something to say, and said, "Class dismissed." Everyone ran out to the Drew happily. They went outside and played with a giant, what the hell's that? Octus wide. And then there was a broom driving class, so they went Link up to his broom and went cheering through the sky with the force of 1,000 cheers, singing in the rain as they went. Ugh. Modem Hook yelled at him. Something about him getting his schedule wrong and not being until Friday, but I didn't seem born until Link continued driving his broom through the water to talk to the mermaids and giant squid. It would normally be hard to talk underwater, but Link used his truest soul powers to breathe and talk under waders just fine. Sup, Link, said the mermaids flirtily. So Link played the Song of Time on the ocarina of time to get 18 again, like he was in the second half of the Ocarina of Awesomeness. An Ocarina of Time upon which that story is biased and then had sexual intercourse with all of them. But we aren't putting the details in the story to being rated, so later a rated one. When Link was done, he played in inverse snog of time to be 11, so he could keep going to Hogwarts.
Okay, so why would he use a broom to go into the water when he would probably have the blue tunic at this point and could just go underwater and be underwater normally? Also, how is he banging mermaids? They could be like dolphins and have vaginas and give live birth, but also if he can magically change his age with the ocarina like he could in the, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up.
And then Link got out and Modem Hook yelled at Link some and told him it wasn't fling class and he was supposed to be in herb biology. Link scream yell, it's not flying class here.
Suppository?
Supposed to be in her boggy, yelled modern pooch with the force of 1,000.
I think that's supposed to be, oh crap, what's her name? The herbology professor. I can't remember it.
Okay, so Link and then he went in herbologia. They learned about magical fruit. One magical fruit was beans. There was even a song. Beans, magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you chew. The more you chew, the more holes there are in your large intestines because it's generally a sign of some issues like that. So don't eat too many beans or you'll die. Hey, those last lines didn't rhyme, said Hermione. So Link used his Jewish soap powers to make them rhyme. And then Hermione didn't say that. End of chapter 20.
See, I told you would like this, Viewers.
Oh god, my soul.
So he's supposed to still be in class, but he's banging mermaids. Because he can, I guess.